Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
Hello. You know I've always ordered my drink at the local Whataburger with just a little ice. I don't want a lot of ice, just a little. But now, they want me to say no ice. I'm supposed to be mad at ice? But I like ice. Ice is my friend on a hot day. These are confusing times. Maybe these guys can clear things up. This is Dave and Juan.
And 3,
Number 2.
1.
Man, that was a high note, Mitch.
America. You might not sound like it, but hey, we are back, and you are.
You're welcome.
Absolutely welcome. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this right here, this Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you. You playing? You got it ready? We were talking for a while. Everything was fine, and
See, dude. So
turn the mic on, and you choke, man. What's going on, bro?
No, we recorded Monday during the day. For those of you who didn't hear last week or missed that note, so I'd come home from work just at lunchtime, and we recorded. And I had a cold, and when I got back, I literally had no voice.
Really?
And they said, "What'd you do at lunch, man? What happened?" I said, "I recorded an hour-long podcast. I don't know about you guys, but for the next 2 days, I couldn't talk."
You were like the episode of Gomer Pyle when he was supposed to sing at the Lincoln Memorial, and he didn't have a voice. And then he started reading the monument. He started reading, I guess, Lincoln's words, and as he was reading, the voice came back, and boom, he was on stage and he sang. That was one of the most, man, that was pre-Rocky days. That was some of the most, that was that was chill time, man, when Gomer Pyle got his voice back just in time.
Shazam,
man. Jim Nabors. He was a different version of like the Incredible Hulk. You know, the Incredible Hulk had, David Banner was a regular dude, and he turned into this monster. So Gomer Pyle, oh shucks, oh Shazam, oh whatever, and man, that son of a gun, when he started singing, you're like, hey, get Gomer. Now, anybody under the age of say 40, 45 probably has no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah, maybe even a little older than that.
What
was that song you sing? Oh my papa.
Oh, I never did like that song, but he sang it well. He sang, but it was Impossible Dream that he sang the. In fact, when my son had to sing it for a couple things, actually, he sung it at certain events, and that's the version. We kind of kid about it. If you want to like hear the version to have mentally to get out there and belt it, it's the Gomer Pyle. You want to see Jim Nabors singing Impossible Dream from Man of La Mancha, baby. That's the
So what came first? I guess because Gomer Pyle was in color, but I remember Andy Griffith, he was on there. So
right,
I guess
Gomer Pyle was a spinoff.
Okay.
Yeah. Andy Griffith, Gomer was a character there. He ended up they spin him off to it was Gomer Pyle,
Marines.
USMC with oh man, who was, I'm trying to remember, Sergeant Carter,
but then there was like
he was great.
Corporal Sprague, was that his name?
Oh, they never got named Barney, wasn't it? No, I'm thinking that's the Flintstones.
No, you're thinking of Andy Griffith was Barney and Goober.
Okay, Barney, but I'm trying to think of who was there was another, the cook, the chef on.
Let's see.
The chef, I want to say it was the cook on Gomer Pyle. And some people now. Here's what's funny about this kind of topic, Juan. They got a lot of people out there right now that are just like, oh, yeah, oh, my God. And they're racking their brains. And there are other people saying, what in the world are these morons
Corporal
talking about?
Chuck Boyle was the corporal. Let's see.
Corporal of what? I mean,
he was on the show. Let me see. Come on. I don't.
Who was the cook on Gomer Pyle? Let's see. Let's test AI right here. Let's see what let's see if if just that simple question gets any let's see. On Gomer Pyle USMC, the cook was, oh no. He was a cook. Gomer's official job in the series was a cook at the Marine base. I did not remember that. Sergeant was Vince Carter. He was played by Frank Sutton. Frank Sutton
Yeah.
was
Frank Sutton.
a fine actor.
All right, I forgot this guy. That was Private First Class Frankie Lombardi.
I don't remember
I
any of
remember
that
the
stuff.
face, not the name.
Yeah, no, I remember. Gomer had some good episodes, man. I mean, you go back, but the same thing with Andy Griffin. The Andy Griffith show is just. You look at some of those episodes now, it's just genius. It's so subtle, so funny, so and back when people had patience to watch something, Andy Griffith, they do like a 5-minute scene on the front porch. Well, I bet you there may have been 100 words of dialogue, and just and funny, just funny stuff. But anyway, so how we jump?
I don't know.
Oh, singing your voice. I'm the one that.
Oh, there you go.
I went down that rabbit trail, but well, glad to have you back. Glad you got your voice back. Thought about you specifically this past week. I accompanied my wife to it was a fundraiser for a local charity that she's fond of, and the event was we played bingo.
Nice. Did you win?
Get this. So it wasn't a huge bingo because it was what, $50? I guess $50 a card, a person there.
Yeah.
But they probably had, they had 100 or so people there.
All right.
Maybe a little more. And it was at the brewery down the street from my house, which is.
So they weren't like the real bingo players, were they?
Well, I don't know. No, I think it was, because the caller. Right. And I made the people around my table laugh. I'm like, man, this guy would never have made it in Raceland. This guy,
you didn't scream new caller?
Oh, I did. Jokingly, not seriously, but like this guy is running for office. I think he's running for justice of the peace or city. I don't know what he's running for something. But good dude. So, he's doing the calling. And man, they called fast. Right. Back in the day. Whew, man, them beer drinking, chain smoking, 60-something-year-old ladies at the Raceland JC. Raceland, JC's we did it, but it was the Raceland Bingo Hall. Whoo! They wanted a new caller. New caller. Get rid of this guy. But he was fine. No, get this. My wife won twice.
Nice.
Dude, they only played 7 games, 8 games.
There you go, man. You can give my dad a hand.
She won the blackout.
Money.
She won the blackout.
That's a big one.
And then won a different one on the same card. Now they gave you 2 cards when you walk in, so it's $50 a head, and you get your 2 cards. And then they came around after buying you just somebody. Well, what happened was it's a show off kind of deal. Like somebody there, some politician there, I guess, bought a bunch of extra cards and was just offering to people. They just gave them, but we didn't. We just stuck with our 2. But yeah, my wife, which I gave her credit because I didn't think she was paying attention. She was, but and it was in the brewery, so I had a couple beers in me, and there comes a time where I don't want to be playing bingo right now. Like I kind of doing it because it's making me pay attention, and this guy's like rushing, and. I'm talking to you. Your dad's the bingo guy. But then they would say like, okay, we're gonna do 2 bingos on this game. So if somebody won bingo.
And what do you do? Keep going?
Yeah, they got a bingo, but you don't clear your card.
You don't clear it.
And they keep calling until somebody gets a second bingo. They did that. They did diagonal bingo, where only.
You only had to go crossways, whatever.
Yeah, and then they did one that was only the corners.
Outer rim.
Yeah, it was like, and I'm sitting there thinking, man,
dude, that's like fancy bingo.
It's making you think too much.
Yeah.
You know what I didn't come here to do? Think. I didn't come here to polish my, mental, like, wait, and what? Wait, what?
Your mental acuity.
Or that. But anyway, so good cause, but
Oh, good deal, man.
been nice to have your dad there. I thought, man.
Now, did she actually win prizes, or was that all part of the charity
No,
event?
one prize was I think it was like $100 gift card or something. Give a $100 gift card, and then the other one was some handmade uh, cross crucifix.
Okay.
Actually cross. I get there's a difference. I know. But that somebody, yeah. I mean, nobody's there to win.
Right, right.
I wish it had been like some cake bingos. Those used to be the best. You ever played a cake bingo?
Yeah.
Oh, those are great, man. You know that's the prize you want.
They do some of the little school fairs. I guess where I grew up, there's in the fall, there's the church fair, and then in the spring, there's the school fair, which is just the exact same thing, just the money goes somewhere.
Yeah.
And they do a cake walk. And I guess it's kind of like
Yeah.
musical chairs or something.
I've been in there before, but those things can get a little violent.
Oh, heck yeah.
You know, you don't really want a physical because it is. You're going to be bumping into people. It's like musical chairs can get
Yeah.
get
It's
violent.
like Mardi Gras. You swear you don't care enough to stomp on a bead, but a bead by your foot, and you go stomp on it. There's you and one person going for a chair. You're knocking them down.
It's sort of primal, yes, and that's we are in Mardi Gras season now. Mardi Gras is I am not
2
in
weeks.
any yeah, it's but they've started with the pre Mardi Gras stuff. That's the other thing. You see a lot of stuff on Facebook. A lot of people that's there. All these crews. It's I guess it's fun. They got a reason for a month to just do
Well, there was a
nonstop.
little parade just outside of Baton Rouge yesterday, and I mean like a little bitty town, and 3 people got shot.
I thought of y'all when I read that. I said, well, this is the most Baton Rouge thing.
Yeah.
They wanted to be Baton. They're not Baton Rouge.
No, they're trying to up
And
their
and
game.
it's unfortunate when people get shot, but this one too was a kid. Wasn't there a kid shot?
I think a kid, yeah, was one of them.
You know, but makes you, yeah, like, yo, that's why we can't have nice things. I mean, and there was supposed to be, I guess the Thibodeau parades must be coming up.
Thibodeau parade next weekend and the weekend after.
I think we're going to be there for the second one. I'm pretty sure we're planning on being there for the second one, not this weekend coming up. And unfortunately, they had to cancel the King Cake fair.
Yeah, that
festival.
was yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. My brother-in-law was a big time involved with that, but he was too cold, man.
Yeah, we were a company of the credit union I work for was a sponsor. So we had people who were going to be there, but it got canceled.
Yeah, it was 20 something degrees in
Yeah, 20 something yesterday. I don't think the wind chill got out of the 20s at all yesterday.
Yeah, no, it was pretty bad. I want to say in the actual temperature last night in Thibodeau area was 20 degrees, I guess.
Well, we went to Houston again yesterday. My daughter swam, and
and I know folks up north are going like, oh man,
no,
Crimea River.
Crimea
Hey.
River.
Yeah.
But so, you know, my dad can't, and he's like, we picked him up Friday, and he stayed here Friday night, and so it's like, all right, well, you want to stay here Saturday night again, or you want to go home, or whatever. And so he said, well, it depends what time we get back. So we got back early enough. We brought him home. But as we're getting, I mean, it's probably 7, 8 o'clock, and we're driving down the bayou, and it's like, I could just see the temperature dropping, man. And it's like, 20 something degrees at 7 o'clock. And then, of course, I had to stop on the way back and get gas. And by this point, I'd been in a car a number of hours, and I'm not struggling to put on a jacket. I'm just going for it. And man, it might kill me.
You pumped gas without putting on a jacket last night?
Yeah. I put like 3 gallons. That's all I need to get home.
Are you one of those guys? You just
No, I don't typically put just 3 gallons, but it was 20 something degrees.
don't put your freaking jacket on.
Well, it's my wife's car.
Okay. Yeah, no, you can tell it's the old man weather reporter. I can tell when it's been cold for too long and I'm having to. You ever get those split fingers? As I said, I'm showing that Band-Aid I got
Oh
there.
no, I hadn't had that in forever.
Yeah, your cuticles and stuff get all dry, and man, I'm in church this morning and I do something, look down, I was like, oh, that's a bad one. That's a
Oh man.
But
I
did
want
I
to get
just
that
tell
one.
you?
I'm going to eat crawfish.
Yeah, but I had that one time. I remember my dad years ago said, "Oh man, you got the curse. You got the Martin curse." He apparently he got that all the time too, man. We get split fingertips, man. It's not fun. That's why I never took up guitar. One, I couldn't.
Well, I knew there had to be a good reason.
Fingers couldn't take it. But I saw something, and I don't know. I didn't make fun because the guy wasn't around, but I was on one of my walks. So it's been getting freezing here. It froze hard freeze last weekend, and a pretty decent freeze this weekend as well. And I'm walking along this development, nice townhouses and stuff, and they got the big wrought iron fences, so you can see into the back. You can see into the backyard, and then when I say this, wrought iron, mean it's it's a metal bar, and then there's 6 inches and another metal bar, or whatever. Right? And the guy has bushes on his side of the fence, right up against I guess so it's growing in to be a privacy situation, and they had spent a bunch of money covering these bushes for the freeze. Dude, the way they did it, they tied off they tied the plastic to the fence, top of the fence, and then brought it down into their yard. And the back end, the wrought iron's wide open. Just wide.
That'll work. Totally freeze these other two sides.
And I want to, it was weird, man. I wanted to just walk over and ask, like, what? Do you understand how this works? Like, you literally, like, I guess from your back porch.
Yeah, all I could see.
You can look out and think, man, good thing I covered my tender vegetation. And it's just, and look, it's one of those things you just look at it and it just strikes you like, you want to ask, how'd you get enough money to live in a house like this and afford all the stuff you put out here and not be able to figure, well.
Yeah, I need 3 extra feet of plastic.
Should have chat GPT'd that, man. Is it okay? Am I covered? Speaking of, okay, we're jumping around, but it's online. I read something this week that I thought, man, real men are genius. And I don't know if this guy's going to go to jail or not, but if he gets out of jail, somebody has to hire him. There's this dude in, I think it's North Carolina. I think, not that matters. I don't know what I'm saying, but he used AI to create. Now, I'm just impressed that people can do these kind of things. He created thousands, apparently, of fake bands. Okay, so there's a guy in North Carolina. Okay, I got it right here. A North Carolina man has been charged in a major music streaming fraud case involving artificial intelligence. Prosecutors say he used AI tools to generate hundreds of thousands of songs, uploaded them to streaming platforms, and then relied on automated programs to play the tracks billions of times. The fake activity made it appear as though real listeners were tuning in, allowing him to collect more than $10 million in royalties.
Wow.
Right. Federal authorities have charged him with wire fraud, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and money laundering conspiracy, with each count carrying a potential sentence of up to 20 years in prison. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, now the comments in the story were great. One person said, wasn't that what Jay-Z did to Beyonce's country album? And then somebody said, well, how do we know that the bots didn't like the music?
Yeah.
But so I guess technically, I guess that's against the law what he did. But man, that's freaking genius.
I guess that certainly not creating the music and uploading it is not against the law. I guess just defrauding the streaming companies of money.
But you're right. I guess so. So I don't know.
I listened to an interview, or just like a music documentary or interview podcast thing the other day with the songwriter. And they were asking him about AI music. And he was saying that he thinks there's going to be a trend where people are going to get into the AI music. And then he said, but you can't create the emotion of music and stuff like that without a real human. So he said he thinks it'll, like everything in music does, go circle. But yeah, I mean, why can't somebody else forget? Why can't, if you're a musician, you go ahead and do it, and you got real music and created bots to stream your music?
That has to happen. And technically it's right. So yeah. So if I was gonna say Bruce Springsteen because he's on my mind for being such a chew. You see what he did? Springsteen wrote a
I saw
song,
you got the anti-ice
a
song.
protest song of Streets of Minneapolis. What a man. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't listen. I can't even listen to old Bruce Springsteen
Right.
anymore. I don't care about people's political views. I really don't. I don't ask if I go to a restaurant. I don't ask what the chef's views are.
Right. That's so lame. It's just so
But if you're
lame.
going to be out there to that extent, it's like, oh, dude,
So
play
lame.
music and shut up.
But so let's just say if you're a musician, an actual musician has songs on Spotify, which some of you may be listening to us on Spotify. And I don't think we get a cut. I mean, we wouldn't have that. How does that work? Would we get like eventually somebody's supposed to cut us a check?
I have no idea. I have no idea how that would work.
Because,
Maybe
dude,
we could look into
I'll
that.
get working on a bot pretty dang soon. I mean, we're going to start chopping these podcasts up into like 60 60-minute segments.
Put it on TikTok.
Right. And then just have the bots play it. And there you go. Run the, hey, look, it is what it is. I guess the guy technically broke the law, but let's say you're a musician and you listen to your own music on Spotify. That counts, right? It's
a stream. I mean, it takes a lot of streams to get money.
I hope this guy has a good lawyer. And I would like to see, that they can figure out ways to write it up. But I mean, so hang on a sec. Music is music. I don't care if it's, so I programmed an AI, whatever, to generate. I'd like to hear what the songs sound like, by the way, too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like but right. Music and art is in the eye or the ear of the beholder. If I just set up a player on Spotify and put a 2 or 3 song playlist and just put repeat and just left that thing running day and night, right? I mean,
yeah,
that's not illegal. So I guess there must be some they get you on, if you're not a politician, you can't get away with fraud.
It's you're talking about, that we're on Spotify and stuff. I wondered, since we have a podcast, if we could be considered journalists based on Don Lemon still being considered a journalist because he doesn't work for any news media.
Don Lemon. That's what
Lemon.
It is a
also from Louisiana.
Sadly, he went to LSU, right?
I don't know if he went to LSU, but he's from around Baton Rouge.
I thought he did.
He may have. I don't know.
He's been a troubled guy for a while. He's not quite Keith Olbermann troubled. Keith Olbermann is just like, I mean, really, seriously, there's something psychological.
Yeah, that's an angry dude.
Lemon just seems to me as a guy who, hey, got some breaks. He's never that talented, but he fit. He was like you get into
checked the boxes.
Well, whatever. I mean, he checked a lot of boxes for sure. I mean, and you know what? So I don't know, that stuff peaks. I mean, like all of a sudden we gotta fill this, fill that, and he was the right guy at the right time, and they make him and then paid him a bunch of money, and he had no ratings. And that's the thing. End of the day, it comes down to that. You can be as they can declare, the powers that be can declare, you're the guy, you're the face of whatever. But man, when your ratings are just non-existent, that doesn't eventually that.
Yeah, you can't keep paying you to make no money.
Well, especially when they tightened up where USAID wasn't funneling money to the networks. No, that's what ended up happening. A lot of these shows were only on. It's no accident that like Colbert's going out. Colbert's not going out because of the things he said. Colbert's going out because the show doesn't make
they'll like
money.
you. Yeah, they'd like you to think that.
Yeah. No, you can, dude. I mean, like, if you making money, especially like those views and that side, you'll be on forever. They're not making money, and a big part of that came from when they stopped funneling government money roundabout way there. But so those of you not familiar, so Don Lemon, whatever he's been doing. He even couldn't even do it. He even messed up with X. He was going to do a show on X. Remember, he did an interview with Elon Musk, and like basically halfway through the interview, you can just tell Elon Musk was thinking, "Why am I giving this guy a break? Like, why?"
Basically told his boss that he was against free speech.
It was just insane. So he's been on. So Lemon's been on the downward spiral. But they show up at a church, and I'm not going to get into all the stuff. He's been charged. He's been charged with some stuff, legitimate stuff that people go to jail for 10, 15, 20 years minimum. I mean, what he did and participated in, helped plan, promoted.
Right, and that's the whole thing. His own words before the quote unquote protest shows that he knew what was going on, that he was there. We can't talk about it.
And when you say your goal is to make people uncomfortable, so that's just not how it works. You can't. And you gotta be curious about the church they chose to do that. There's only a certain kind of church they're going to pull that kind of stuff in. I got news for you. Nobody's pulling that in a Southern Baptist church.
Mm-mm.
Dude, they'd have had medical assistants called to the scene on that one. Oh, I got news for you. Around here, that would not have happened. All right. But yeah, it says so. He's been indicted. He's been charged with 2 federal felonies for participating in the attack on City's Church in St. Paul, Minnesota. Count 1 is they give the thing conspiracy against the right of religious freedom at place of worship. Can't do that, y'all. And count 2 is called the FACE Act, which is to injure, intimidate, and interfere with exercise of right of religious freedom at a place of worship.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard to argue against why. One of the reasons it's going to be hard for him to argue that that's not what they did.
Because he said that's what they were doing.
He's on camera saying that's what we're doing.
Yeah, right. That's what I was listening to Megan Kelly the other day, and she played that clip, and she said, if I was the prosecuting attorney, that is my closing argument. Turn it off and walk off.
Here's the law. Here's the guy that we got him on footage breaking the law, and he's explaining, yes, we knew what we're doing. This is what we did. So,
and you sit here and you say, well, he'll never be convicted of that in Minneapolis, but it's a federal crime. So correct. It's a much bigger area.
He would have never been charged. Correct.
Right. So it's a much bigger area than just Minneapolis.
Yeah. So but then you got to hear all this stuff about,
he's a martyr.
We're locking up journalists and stop it. Stop it. They put some woman in jail. There was some woman that blocked an abortion clinic a couple, 3 years ago.
Right. That's what some of these laws are.
They threw her in jail.
Yeah.
I mean, and she wasn't
praying across the street of an abortion clinic.
She wasn't exactly. She wasn't terrorizing anybody. She wasn't doing she wasn't blocking. One of the things these people did, this Lemons group that went in there, besides intimidating and harassing, they blocked some people. Like there were kids there. There were kids in like a daycare or whatever, and they got in the way. They would not let.
Right, so the parents couldn't get to the kids or something.
The parents could not get to their kids. Come on, y'all. Come on. I don't care what side you're on. Show me where that's okay in any. And the thing about journalists, so if you film yourself breaking the law, that don't count.
My church, there would have been arrest on the scenes and possibly gunshots on the scene.
Could have been. Could have been.
I mean, especially when you get, because we have a big kids area, that's very highly secure.
Dude, so spare me. What's annoying about this is there are arguments to be had. You're like, okay, what the point? Like, you can't argue this. Like, this is not.
No.
Come on, man. You can't have somebody just because you saw this dude on TV. Guess what? Watch the stuff he's been doing. The dude's been a problem for a while, and he stepped over.
Well, he basically told the pastor that, this is what protest is, just to make people uncomfortable. And do you think this is, this is Christianity? But and he basically called them white supremacists and stuff. So
100%. So can't do that. Here's the difference. Right now, there's a new sheriff in town, and that sheriff said, you know what? That ain't gonna happen. And we get to see what's gonna happen. And again, this whole Minneapolis thing. It's just amazing that, and we said this before, as all this fraud, this incredible billions and billions of dollars of clear fraud, and I'm talking fraud across the board, not just the daycares, but I'm talking about fraudulent, like autistic. I mean, you name the type of charity that you can fake out and just have it's been going on there. And it appears that one of the representative from said area has become extremely wealthy in the past couple years. With all this money flowing.
Far beyond her investment capability and her salary.
To have suddenly out of nowhere a wine business, like selling wine, I guess, or whatever, but there's no business and no inventory and no signs of whatever, and it's made $5 million. Pretty good. And apparently her husband's
he's a political consultant. Now he is a venture capitalist or something.
And he's not registered with any of these things, and I guess like 30-something million dollars. And far be it from me, Juan, to with all the, but here's the deal. So it was Butler, Pennsylvania, right, where they tried to kill Trump. Okay. And when I say they, I do mean our government. All right. I mean, it's not either side. Believe me, there were people on both sides, I think, complicit in, we're just gonna let this happen. Okay. And they don't even talk about that stuff anymore. Like just
oh no. You'll never hear about that again.
But there were people who literally wanted to claim after that it was fake. Oh yeah, they just did that, and you did just like, okay, I'm sorry. You don't take a bullet to the side of the ear that misses your brain by half an inch. You ain't faking it that way, okay? So, but anyway, clean up. Who are going to swear up and down that what happened in that little, what was that, a town hall? What the
I guess it was a town hall.
So a couple days or within days of, and this is what's her name again?
Alien Omar.
Okay, right. If you see her, yo. Just days within all this stuff coming out, like, wait, you got a $5 million wine business that apparently doesn't exist anymore, and you went from having $30 in your checking account to 30-something million in a year or 2 years. Like, so as all this stuff starts coming out, oh man, we got a riot here, riot there, we got to do this. But then she's doing a little town hall, and it looked like there couldn't have been more than, I don't know, 50, 60 people.
Yeah, it was a small room.
Small room. And then this guy just conveniently seated on the front row, on the aisle, 10 feet from her. Maybe 10, 15 feet from her, while she's doing whatever, apparently gets up and pulls out a syringe and sprays her with this syringe. Now, the security guards seemed a little slow with what was going on.
Well, I tell you what, for her sake, she could, nobody grabbed her to protect her. She was going at the dude.
Which kind of makes you, and the dude sprayed her across her sweater or whatever, right? Not in the face. And it turned out being apple
cider and vinegar.
We got some of that in our house. Apple cider vinegar. Yeah. Okay.
And they were talking about just how like a pungent odor.
Okay. That's a pungent odor. So Juan, if you're a speaker, you're doing whatever, and then somebody you wink, wink, don't know, and wink, wink, don't expect, pops up and sprays something on you, what's your first
I'm going
response?
Down behind the podium, Dave.
I don't know if it's behind the podium, but I guarantee you, I'm like, hands up. I'm like, okay, hey, what just got sprayed on me?
Yeah.
Because if it's theoretically, it's
right, acid.
Apparently, over in Europe, there are parts of Europe now that acid attacks are very common. They're common. So just no concern for that.
Yeah.
Acting like it's almost one of these, like, hold me back, Gordon Soley.
I'm sure she was worried about the people, Dave.
Yeah, she was there to fight for the people. And then insisted on finishing her presentation about how she will not be scared. Yeah, it made Jussie Smolett look like Shakespeare. Look like
I
Richard
saw some
Burton.
memes with her, like the Jussie Smolett Award, and she was the new winner.
It was hard to come across as more fake. That's just not how humans respond.
No.
Right? That's just not. But so the whole thing is to.
Now, but you go back to what you started saying. There are people who thought when Trump got shot, it was fake. But this is, how dare you call this fake?
come on. And then they're doing the background. Apparently, this guy is the guy that did it is married to some political, like, on their side. It wasn't, that dude wasn't wearing a MAGA hat. But whatever. Okay, that's what's going on in Minnesota. To clear something up too, and I don't know that this is, I think it was last week, the week before, I was talking about that guy. That's the last guy. You almost feel more for the woman who, like I said, don't show up.
Well, we forgot about her already.
Yeah, don't accelerate into an ICE agent, whatever. Okay, so yeah, now it's this other guy, who shows up, and you saw the footage that came out of him from 2 weeks prior.
Him kicking out the tail light.
Y'all, try that somewhere. Try that anywhere else.
Right. His family said, yeah, that's him.
Yeah, try to get into an altercation or be cursing at cops or any kind of federal officer, armed officers of the law, and then spit at them, spit on them, whether the window was open or not, and then not just kick the car, kick the light, like basically. By the way, that's a felony.
It's pretty tough to kick out a tail light. Not
that's
that I've kicked out a tail light, but I've removed some for mechanical reasons before. Yeah, just pop off.
That's right. So that's but by the way, that's a felony, right there. Like that. So the dude is filmed committing a felony. They'd have probably saved his life if they would arrested him. Because what happens? I do like
the recent Photoshop work in all of this stuff, though, because if you go back to the first lady, this wasn't Photoshop work. I guess they showed her older pictures where she had very shoulder length, pretty hair, as opposed to her more current picture with her shaved head. Yeah. This guy, I've seen multiple networks reporting it, where his actual photo is basically pale. I mean, it's middle of winter. It's Minnesota. It's kind of a long, elongated face, but the picture that they're using on some of the networks basically got a nice tan, a chiseled jawline.
They AI'd his picture, which tells you all. I mean, how? So come on, like at what point do you just say, wait a minute, like what are you doing? Like so you're saying, I thought everybody's the same, everybody's beautiful, everybody's whatever. Mm. Why would you clearly alter the image of the victim? I mean, say whatever you think of him to make him more visually appealing. That journalism. Let's ask Don Lemon about that. So anyway, so that goes on, but and this is what happens, y'all, had the guy who committed a clear felony 2 weeks before been dealt with, he might not show up again emboldened,
might not be dead,
armed with that. Now, here's where I think we might have missed it, or I missed it because I wasn't trying to lie. I could have been wrong. I believed that the first gunshot, I don't even know if it came from his gun or not. I don't know that they've ever, he definitely had one in the chamber. He definitely had, that was a gun ready to go, but I don't know if it fired while he had it or when the dude took it away or whatever happened.
But somebody, I saw this guy on Rogan earlier in the week, a guy who's very, I don't know, a gun guy who's very familiar with this gun. Joe Rogan has a gun like that.
Sure,
and he says that they took that one or that model of it off, or they had to redo it because it's got and I'm not a gun guy, but it was something very sensitive with the trigger, that even a vibration, if you drop the gun on the back side of it, if there was one in the chamber, it had a high probability that the gun was going to go off.
Which is why most sane people don't carry a gun with one in the chamber.
Yeah.
You just don't. It's just not a, I guess if you're like a big time security, I'm guessing even whatever they might, but if you're just carrying.
But they said this gun didn't have like an adequate safety mechanism on it or anything.
Yeah. So anyway, so again, one of those things, we say it before, say it again. This idea that somebody was hunted, nah, not so much. No. Not so much. Okay. And you watch that. If you just watching the footage, I am impressed with some people who are armed. They're ready. They're armed, and not just with lethal, but non-lethal and whatever. The abuse people are taking, right?
Dude, let me tell you something.
That you just think, boy, you know what? y'all don't want to see what's going to happen if ever
If
somebody.
ever the level of police abuse that people want to accuse police in general of actually happens, now would be the time that you'd see it popping off.
Well, so that's still going on. I want to say there was they always overestimate, but whether it's 100,000 they were hoping for yesterday, some big rally out there. I don't know.
Friday, a lot of places had ice off, and they were saying, encouraging people to close their business or to not show up for work or school.
All right. All right. And look, and like I said, I know this is like about a couple 3 weeks. It's the topic that's out there. But that's why I just want people to like start. Let's going down the list. Is like, okay, can we go back to saying what is the law? What's against the law? What's not against the law?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Is this against the law? Okay. So if something is against the law, what are you supposed to do?
Not that.
Well, just like, okay, if you're not supposed, if you're undocumented, you're whatever the words you want to use, are you supposed to be here or not? You can have that argument. Is it the law? What's the law? The law says, okay, then what do you do? The law is broken. Well, it's been ignored. Well, okay, now it's not. All right. You're not supposed to drive 95
This is
in a
what
35.
bothered me most, because there was a girl who at a local public high school here got deported this week or last week. And so
really?
the headlines, even in the local newspaper, Trump administration deports such and such a high school student. I'm like, well, how about the law that had her deported? And again, now I'm finally glad, or that clips from President Obama from 20 years ago are finally resurfacing, saying basically, the same stuff that's they're doing now.
He ain't there yet. I want to say, didn't the Obama administration deport like 12 million people?
Oh, dude, he was proudly took the title, deporter in chief.
I saw the clip the other day, and he's talking very eloquently about the borders and about why it's important and about why you can't. I mean, like, basically sounding like, where's the MAGA hat? I mean, like, he sounded exactly like, and here we are today where, so.
Yeah, Crimea River.
So it's all going to be. Anyway, there you go. That's good luck, Minnesota. Well, good luck, all of us. It's coming. It's the same thing here. They're trying to push stuff here in Texas. We got elections coming up, and I shouldn't. Well, my neighborhood here, not really my neighborhood, but like the major streets around my town, just all the political signs are up everywhere. And I tell my wife, we got to move. We got to move, man. I don't like any of the people on these signs. Like. There's I'm on another planet, man. It's just like I say, all right. And then now, I guess all these positions used to, nobody even, man, who thought about councils and county this and county that and all these positions that you just you didn't even pay attention to them. It's like, whatever. These people mess with your lives, man. That's what the whole COVID thing taught us. Going back 4 or 5 years, it's like, wait, what? Who's They can just say that, and without the authority. That's the other thing we found out too. If you're in certain positions, you can just do stuff, even if it's against the Constitution. Depending on who's the sheriff in town, they're not going to stop you. Like, no, you do that. Remember that too, yo. They closed the churches and they kept the bars open. That's all you need to remember.
And the casinos.
They ran, and the casinos, and they ran thousands upon thousands of small businesses out of business. But Amazon, Walmart, and everybody got bigger and more powerful than ever. Just always remember, we're not
drug companies.
Yeah, it's amazing. That was only a couple 3 years ago. We're still in the midst of that, right? I mean, and because it didn't end in 2020. It's 2021, 2022-ish.
Well, and here's one of the things that I think people lose sight of with all of that is because companies like Amazon and other companies, when you mess with the workforce and you don't allow the workforce to go to work, well, these companies are going to find other ways to get the work done. Modern technology, and now you're seeing more and more of this stuff come to fruition.
Sure.
Hey, man, we developed this stuff 4 or 5 years ago. Now we're nailing it. We don't need you.
I actually wrote this down. Zuckerberg in a recent, who I'm not 100% sure he's not an alien. And when I say that, I don't mean from another country. I mean Zuckerberg may well be, or
You
that
got to look.
that or they grew the guy in a pod somewhere. I don't know, but he
You figure right now if they had lifelike aliens on a movie,
does it. That's
that's
it.
what he'd look like.
They'd probably get a little better than that. He don't look quite as lifelike as good. But anyway, he was in an interview and basically saying that within 12 to 18 months, that was his prediction, 12 to 18 months, that AI was going to be writing most of their code. Like most of think about again going back a few years. Oh, learn to code, learn to code. Everybody was just like, oh, poor, it so sucks. Hey, white collar and blue collar and whatever. And
Yeah.
but the future is computers, the future is programming. Learn, and that was sort of a derogatory thing to tell people, learn to code. And lo and behold, that profession is going to be one of the. I'm sure there's still going to be coders. You're still going to need people to, but and that is clear to see. There's no something works or it doesn't work, right? So when they just can give stuff to code, even like even like web design, again to the point where you could just tell it, I need a website that does this, and it'll.
True story. I mean, this is. I've talked to you before. I used to sell Cajun themed T-shirts. Had a website and did it for a number of years. I got bored with it and just kind of stopped. I was messing around. They had some time, so typed into ChatGPT. Hey, I've got X thousand users or followers on Facebook. And I typed the whole story. Could you create a website? And it goes. And it's and I know it's designed to. Oh my gosh, I can't. You've got customers in waiting, and yes, I can do that. That's what I do well.
It does
do you
pump
need me
you
to
up.
design the shirts? And so, yeah, I can do it all, and I probably will at some point. But then you can sit down and design email campaigns. Just do it all.
Yeah, I know. I got my guy I use. I still use a human. I don't pay him a ton, but I pay him I pay him a lot more than, And you get to that point, it's like, man, I like my guy. I like being able to call a guy, but I guess as long as time, that's what happens. As long as times are good, you're like, I can still afford to do that. But sure, you start, and that's everybody, y'all. Lawyers, you're going to pay a lawyer to read something?
Yeah, you could literally, we were talking about this with my wife this morning. I said, you could, upload your bank statements to AI, upload your paychecks to AI. Then where can I save some money?
Oh, yeah.
And it can analyze it for you, create a budget for you. That's not just a random budget. It's a budget based on your information in about 5 minutes.
The challenge we have is that so you're giving all your information to the void.
Right. That's the whole thing.
Okay. But here's the sad part, y'all. We kind of already are.
Yeah, I'm never scared of mine because hey, somebody's got it.
Dude, that's my thing. It's like, look, I'm sort of out on Front Street, man. Like it is what it is. We got opinions, we got whatever. It's like like I said, I enjoy debating and disagreeing with people. I respect their intelligence. You kind of sharpen each other, and you may just agree to disagree, and that's fine. But but that's where we are. Before we get out, I was sad passing this week. I don't know if it's quite on the level of Robin Williams, but I'm telling you, I can make the argument that Catherine O'Hara, the passing, that's almost a Robin Williams.
Yeah, that was sad, and she was 72.
Not very old. I never heard. I never heard.
I think it was early 70s.
Yeah, I never heard the details about what if she had something.
I think it was some type of heart condition or something, and I don't know if they knew that she had it or if it just popped up. But
so Catherine O'Hara, who's been in so many things, I will always know her from SCTV. That was just I've always. But recently, and I've never seen a single episode, but I've seen the clips of what's it called, Schitt's Creek.
Up Schitt's Creek or whatever. I don't even.
Whatever. It's a play on. It's SCHR, whatever. But my sister, I know, the sisters love that show.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I know her more from.
She was the mom. She was the mom in Home Alone. She was she was also in Beetlejuice. She was the mom. Was the mom in Beetlejuice. She was, gosh darn it, she was in a few other things, but just and all the like the mockumentary stuff with A Mighty Wind or whatever it's called, and anyway, those SCTV people all kind of kept their thing. But anyway, just always liked her. Just so it's one of those. There's certain people that pass and you go like, oh dang, But yeah, that also.
Don't forget Lamont.
I forgot. But let's be honest about Juan. If you'd have told me that Lamont died 10 years ago, we'd have been like, oh, really? I missed that.
I didn't know Lamont was still alive, but he also wasn't that old.
Well, he was a bit older, right? So the gentleman,
Lamont. I wrote down his name. This Damon Wilson, Lamont Sanford from Sanford and Son.
Right, the son, Fred Sanford's son,
big dummy.
Good, and he was very good in that. By the way, you go back.
That was a great show.
We're talking about that. So I guess I don't watch enough current stuff to judge. I guess, there must be some good shows still out there. I mean, I've seen a couple that I like Landman and these current things. Yeah, but those old shows were good. They hold that. Where I miss, and the thing about these old shows like Sanford and Son, the Jeffersons, All in the Family, and those are the ones we just remember out of the top. Man, we were a freer country back then.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my gosh. Some of these old clips that are funny as all get out. And you go like, wow, we were actually a kind of a mature country at one time where
you knew a joke was a joke.
It's a joke. It's a TV show.
Designed to make me laugh.
This is pretend. And we're going to go over, right? Exaggeration. You know what's funny? Exaggeration. So rest in peace, Lamont. I should say whatever. What's in
looking that up yesterday, what Red Fox who played Fred Sanford, what his real name was? John Sanford.
That was his real name?
Red Fox's real name was John Sanford.
There you go. I did not know that.
Red Fox died broke.
Did he really?
Yeah. Eddie Murphy paid for his funeral.
Well, some people say that's the way to do it. I don't know if he had kids or whatever. That's.
I think some bad divorces.
Are there any good ones? Come on. I mean, that's all. That's all relative. All relative. Just other little news here. Bill Belichick is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. They need to just do away. Is Drew Brees going in this year?
Yeah. Drew Brees is in.
So, hey, you know what? Suck on it, Drew. You know all anybody's going to be talking about, even though you're going to get your flowers and everybody's going to love it. But this year's Hall of Fame ceremony is going to be more.
What I found out, so apparently the voting requirements to get in your first year are tougher than in other years.
It's impossible.
So you've got to get 50 out of 60 votes to get in the first round.
It's Bill Belichick. It's
I know. But
even
they're saying
people that hate him are like, wait, he's got to go in first ballot.
Ryan Leaf was one of the ones. I'm sitting down saying, how does Ryan Leaf have a vote in this?
Ryan Leaf's got a vote.
Yeah, he just got out of prison, I guess, to get that. But he voted.
No, he's been cleaned up for a while. Ryan Leaf.
Yeah, he has because of the Deflategate stuff. Yeah. But at least on better news, Shador made the Pro Bowl. So
I was just not even gonna won't come. As did Joe Flacco.
I think Joe Flacco was just because he's just like the fourth guy in. They only picked 3, and I think it was like, all right, just you never made it. You've been in the league for 100 years.
If I started listing all the things I would prefer to see or do instead of watching the NFL Pro Bowl, we'll be here till next week.
I don't even think they play a game anymore.
I think it's like flag football or something. It's ridiculous. We're starting to wrap things up here. Here's another happy story. Did you see where some of the Epstein stuff started coming out? And one of the things is correspondence that Epstein was sending to Bill Gates, and basically it looks like, and nobody's really. This kind of stuff starting to make sense. Well, Bill Gates apparently gotten an STD from a Russian young.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Young Russian lady, and was asking Epstein, or had asked Epstein for some kind of drugs to slip to his wife. Like he wanted to give without her knowing, basically give
it to her so he could blame her.
No, so I guess maybe so she wouldn't get it or wouldn't know
Oh,
or
oh, oh, slip her a little penicillin.
yeah, whatever. I'm not whatever it is. I'll probably say I have no idea how to. Never had one.
Nah, I'm assuming penicillin. Yeah, huh?
I know. I'll hat tip to you one. I've never had one, but so yeah, that's the kind of class move we had going here. Got an STD while married, by the way. Philander's got and wanted to slip his own wife drugs, so hopefully she wouldn't get it. And
Yeah, because
no,
otherwise you'd have to tell her.
because she would know where she got it. He probably had no idea who he got it from. But there you go. That's a
There you go. Like that's the kind of friend you don't want to have.
I saw a thing that said, now you know why Microsoft virus was always I don't know. I'm paraphrasing. Somebody made a funny joke about that. But do you know what else I'm dealing with this week, man? Our cat has been ill. All right. And weird. Like didn't like we thought she'd gotten into a fight. Because she's inside most of the time, but she's outside. Because her ear had like fur and stuff missing and whatever, and looked like it maybe got bitten. I thought, well, maybe it's infected or something, and then something else. But I was not kind of, and then she got a little lethargic, and all of a sudden she's really not moving around. Like I'm from the old school South Louisiana. Hey, try to keep it fed, but with her stuff wasn't eating as much, so go to the vet. He does whatever, gives her some kind of treatment. He thinks it looks like it might be mites or something.
Yeah, cats get your mites.
And then, but I mean, it was on her nose and it's weird, and a antibiotic shot. And then we said, well,
How old?
She's like 5-6 years old.
No, it's not old.
No. So then the doctor says, well, I can give you these pills to give her by mouth. I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. As I said, you have a shot. Yeah, well, I can give her a shot. Yeah, that. I'm not wrestling with the cat. And then for a couple of days, not getting better at all. Dude, I've been hand feeding a cat. Like I've been laying on my stomach for days. And my wife brings her back and whatever it was, and they gave her a steroid shot. And, again, and we've talked about this before. It's sort of like, all right, we're at, and he said, well, I don't want to give her one that lasts a month because if it's not this, it's whatever. But it looks like today she got up a little bit. She's eating more and we'll see. But it was also one of those, and the vet's cool enough to know, like, hey, so he even said that. He told my wife, he says, there's the vet part of me and I forget what his first name is, the whatever part of me, and I get it. Like, at what point,
Yeah. It's not that I don't love my pet.
Well, that's my thing. It's like,
it's my pet.
We'll get, hey, steroids, antibiotics, you tell us what to do. We don't want an animal to, do whatever. We're not doing scans. We're not doing, I'm sorry,
Got a DNR signed on this
Yeah,
cat.
I mean, look, I guess cats can get cancer. But all
Oh,
right.
they can. Yeah, I've
Okay.
known people who've gone that far.
Okay, so I hope that's not it. And that's my thing. It's like, hey, we got a pretty good deal here. Like, we'll keep you fed and comfortable and full of medicine, and thankfully we got some vets that aren't insane. But yeah, about $300 something
We had to go to the doctor. I mean,
well, that was for two
vet-
visits. That was like two visits.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, you're gonna get something when like walking in the door. Dude, you see some
That's
interesting.
why, see, you work for yourself. It's a common benefit now. Pet insurance.
Well, that's why it's also so expensive. One of the reasons
Yeah.
that vets have become incredibly expensive because of that, because people have insurance, and so many vets have been bought out by private equity. They're the actual evil people here. So these companies, they buy out local vets and they basically own them, and then some of the vets stay on, some don't, but they basically, once you have control of a market, hey, guess what? Everything costs 25% more than it used to. Everything costs, and people are having fewer children. People are living longer. They got pets, and they're going to spend, they're going to, it's hard to ask an animal, what's wrong? What do you,
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you put your current pain level?
Right. So we'll see. It was that's been the last few days. So she's moving around a bit more, but I was thinking about that too. That's me. I'm the There's so many times that this cat is so frustrating that I'll be like, hey, I just want to put it out like, hey, whatever, run away. I'm at my wit's end. And then I find myself, like I said, 3-4 times a day going find it wherever it's
Yeah,
at
I
in the
know.
house.
I've talked about this before where, saying prayers at night, my dogs start whining. And in the middle of prayers, I say, God, please kill the dogs tonight. Um,
So thankfully, God has not listened to those prayers yet, Juan. Please kill those dogs tonight. Or at least quiet them a little bit. Let's quiet them a little bit. But so yeah, we'll we'll give an update on the cat next week. We'll see.
all right.
But I think it's by that time, guys. I think you know, buffet's been laid out before you, y'all. There it is. Take what you want, leave what you don't want. Just don't sneeze on what you don't take. Somebody else might
Exactly.
want. All right. So we're going to push the button. Get on out of here. See if any of this stuff stuck to the magic tape up in the sky. We hope it did. If you want to reach us, as always, it's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com or
And wherever here is for you.
you did it this time. You may be driving. Look, it's on the car. You're at your house staring at,
If you got a bot, you can fake some downloads on
Man.
Netflix or something. Get us some money, please
just gave me some ideas on Spotify, huh? Hey, let's all of a sudden Dave and Juan spiked to 4 billion views. Must have been a particularly interesting episode there. I don't know what happened. Every week we tell you it's not a hint, suggestion, or implication, y'all. It is a freaking
It's a freaking mandate, man. You got to do it.
go live your best life. Go give it a shot. Hopefully, like my cat. Man, my cat's been dragging. He's been having a rough week. Somebody gave him a steroid shot yesterday. I think it must be magic in those steroids, huh?
You got to do it. Muscle up.
I don't know what if it's what it does, and hopefully it lasts. But cat's doing a little bit better today. So take a lesson from my cat. I shouldn't say that because it's people out. You shouldn't be shooting up. All right, don't know. Internal fortitude. Right. You had a rough day. Hey, you made it.
Yeah, suck it up. Do it again.
You wake up in the morning, you got another shot. Just keeps on coming. All right. So we're gonna get on out of here. You guys stay warm out there. I'm heading to North Carolina in a couple of days. It's snowing to beat the band out there right now. I think it's supposed to snow on Wednesday when I get there. So yay.
All right, make a snowman.
Yeah, no. That's my goal. Get in and get out and without any more split fingers, and we'll see what comes of it. But anyway, we'll get back together next week, y'all. Everybody, have a fantastic one. Love you, bro.
Back at you, man. Yeah, so we talked last week that I was going to the dentist this week. And you mentioned, a story that kind of gave me the frissons about your dentist saying he needed a bigger pair of pliers. And so as I'm laying there with my mouth wide open, that thought pops into my head, and it's like, oh dear God. But then at some point, so I get two different, I get like a deep cleaning, which was like a 2-hour process.
Ooh.
And then I went and got some teeth refilled and capped.
Oh, okay.
Capped, not crowned. I'm sorry.
Ooh,
which was another 2-hour process.
Crowned. Wow.
Yeah. So I lay there with my mouth wide open for 4 hours without speaking, which is, an unusual thing. But thankfully, there's a thing he calls like a mouth pillow. It puts a little thing you bite down on, but you really can't close your mouth all the way.
Okay.
But when they're getting ready to start that process, the little dental hygienist or hygienist, however you pronounce that word correctly, says, "Would you like some safety goggles?"
Oh, man.
And I said, "I'm sorry?" I said, "Some safety goggles?" And I said, "What the heck are you going to be doing?" And she said, "Well, some people just like, in case things are flying." And I said, "Trust me, my eyes are going to be closed tight. They're not going to open at all." But so, yeah, you talk about then get the frissons.
Aren't you about to have your mouth worked on and they're putting safety goggles on you?
Yeah.
That you may be injured with a piece of your own body flying at you. Or when I do it, they always, because they do certain things and it doesn't really hurt, but I cringe. I lock up and they're always like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay." It's like,
yeah, it hurt. That's what she kept saying, because that deep cleaner stuff, they're digging deep in there to make sure, you got to make sure that's pre-surgery from my knee stuff, make sure there's no infection. And she kept asking, I said, "Just watch my feet. You'll tell when I hurt. You'll see my toes curl. I'm not going to jump because you have sharp objects in my mouth."
I don't want the safety glasses, but do you have a headband I can wear? I just want to look cool. I just want to look cool.
It's over. Go home.